All right. Well, it's all right if it's a short one. That's all right. So I'm sharing my screen. Everyone should see the title screen. And what I'm gonna do is, just in case there are any last minute refreshes, I'm just gonna come back and hit present. And all right, we're gonna be off with DeFi kicking us off. Oh, and there he goes. And he's back.
Yeah, whenever I open Zoom, my Discord audio sounds like Jurassic Park, and there's no way to fix it. So, alrighty, the usual standing items for anyone that's not part of the work stream or DAO, I guess. We are accepting contributions to all of the said repos: Web, Lib, Unchained, Fox Farm, not so much anymore, given that's out. HT Wallet as well. A link to the project board that we're looking to keep track of everything. Small change coming up soon. We are likely to have separate project boards for separate epics because product was finding it slightly difficult to keep track of how to chop up what's in progress. So like the Yearn integration might be one of the first to have its own project board. In terms of bounties, the Unchained bounty got merged. So we had some great work come in from a community contributor. Even though the bounty wasn't strictly finished as per the spec, we came up with something totally agreeable and got some working stuff merged in. And just a reminder, we pay generous retroactive bounties for contributors as well. So if there's something that you want to work on and it's not specifically bountied, get in touch. We'll find something, and we've been paying out for people as well. Fox Farm V2 has launched. It's in production. Go and get your juicy Fox rewards. And we have the retro today for that at 1 p.m. But more in general, we've got more resources just across the open source stuff in general now that the Fox farming stuff has wrapped up. So expect to see a lot more progress across everything there. Hand it over to Mike for the coins team.
Yeah, so quick update on coins teamwork on the legacy infrastructure. McChadwick, or now Pasta Ghost, is debugging an issue with Thorchain swaps on KeepKey. Mark is actually completed a bunch of work along with Highlander on KeepKey support on Windows, and we're currently getting ready to do some user testing for users that have a Windows machine, just to see if that's working properly. And then on the maintenance front, we did an upgrade of our Thor nodes this week that went smoothly. So I think that will kind of be an ongoing thing, especially with Thorchain having frequent updates. That'll just be an ongoing maintenance task that we have to keep up with. And for Unchained stuff, if Kevin's here, I will turn it over to him. Although I don't see him in the list here. So I can give a quick update on Unchained. We're continuing the work of adding WebSocket support on the client side. And then we're also adding Thorchain, starting with the API, both the send endpoint and the account balance endpoint. And then we're also starting work on the block ingester for Thorchain as well. And that's it for Coins team.
And thanks, Mike. Will was at a parent-teacher conference this morning, so he's not able to update. I'll just quickly run through that. They've been helping with the WebSockets work, doing logging metrics, doing some good work on resource tuning and cost optimization of the legacy stack, which is going to be great, already yielding some results. And then doing like account work, going from ShapeShift AG, which is the centralized entity, to the DAO, making sure, for those who aren't aware, a lot of us that have ShapeShift emails will no longer have ShapeShift emails. So all kinds of account and access needs to change and be cut over, and while we're at it, reevaluating who needs access to what. So he's a big piece of that. And pass it to Reed. Reed, are you here in the audience, Mr. Nerdhair?
Hey guys, security's priorities this week are pretty much the same as last week. We're continuing to assist on version 2 wallet architecture stuff. Got some HD wallet PRs in the pipeline. Other than that, there's a bunch of administrative stuff we're dealing with, but nothing like super cool sounding. So anyway.
Cool. And I keep forgetting to delete that. I'm just going to do it right now. Otherwise,
I was trying to remember if we decided that last time. Does that put me up?
it does.
Cool. So we've had lots of great design discussions, particularly last week and continuing into this week. Notable there is what James mentioned during appreciations, client-side chain abstraction and generic types sort of came in along with BTC support, as we needed to make those interfaces really work well with two very different types of blockchains. We also had some good state management chats led by Jam. So with the WebSocket work that's been going on in Unchained and sort of defining our client-side storage there, which is going to be in Redux, and how we hydrate that store. We got some stuff going on in Unchained, as you heard about from Mike. They'd started out with Thorchain. This is really about Cosmos SDK chains and how they're integrated into Unchained. There'll also obviously be the counterpart discussions of working that into our client side. And finally, Yearn. So we had some good spiking type work with Yearn last week and a kickoff, and there's a breakdown for integrating Yearn into the open source platform this afternoon. Final thing, we have demos this Wednesday at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. I'd love to see everyone join us there. That's it.
Awesome. Thanks all. So I'm still doing some planning around the Web V2 work and just making sure that's all everyone's knows what they're working on and that we're getting dates together and stuff like that. And then we have the DAO open source retro. That's next Wednesday. So that's the 27th in the afternoon. So I'm going to be reaching out to Matt. Matt has volunteered to run that. And so I'm going to plan that with him a little bit. For those who want some context, October 31st, that's a week from Friday, is many of our last days as a ShapeShift employee. Some engineers are moving on. The majority are going to be part of the work stream, but either way, it felt like a good time to do a retro on how we as an engineering team transitioned to the DAO and started building the open source repo, and we're almost to having that be a live working system now. So that's the reason for that timing. And I think maybe the product team and some of the ops team might join us in that retro too. And I'm supporting the success token still in this part of the tokenomics, trying to help move that forward. And then our vision, self-sovereignty is important, particularly as we look at the open source repo, supported by a decentralized infrastructure, providing a portal to multi-chain, multi-protocols. And still remaining with the users of our products keeping sovereignty, owning the keys of their coins. It's all pretty exciting stuff. All right, with that, I'm gonna pass it off to Bethany.
Josh. Cool. So last week we did like a last minute scramble to get Yearn UX UI ready for web. We introduced some new UI elements because it's on the new web app. So we are going to be running some usability this week. And also that usability will overlap with what we've been doing for Osmosis. So that's one of the biggest goals for this week. And also Beard is working on getting that gem integration done in the mobile application, and hopefully that'll get wrapped up by the end of the month. And then just a bunch of .com design that's been worked on, and Huff now has access to Webflow for our .com website. So he'll be able to go in this week and actually start updating the designs. The first lift he'll be doing is actually the new careers page, because that's the most important for us to get that ready to go for the DAO. And apart from that, everybody here probably knows already that we're going to be deprecating some of the current Fox rewards. So there's just a bunch of UI updates that we have to touch across mobile and web. So we'll be doing that over the next week or so as well. And that's it for me. I will pass it to Chow.
Thanks, Diggy. So the product priorities this week are the Yearn updates, both UI UX, if there are any, and then also in the product spec, there's an engineering kickoff later today for that as well. Also working on finalizing the public notion, and then also working to get that onto ShapeShift.com. And our mobile releases this week, that we'll do OTAs as needed, and we're also going to do an App Store release at the end of this week, so that we can get language in there about Fox Farming v2. And we have a priority bug ticket that's in the works. The ticket writing is in the works, but the continue button on the managed staking page is a dead click, unless the user switches between like 75% and max. And then miscellaneous this week, we have product office hours Thursday at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Willie is in Lisbon starting release tomorrow, comes back next week. And with that, I will pass it to Willie. I think he's here. Maybe not. No, I see him in the audience.
He's just not hearing his cue.
Maybe I'll DM him because I know he wanted to touch on Flashbots. So let me message him.
There he is.
Cool.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Awesome. My computer was frozen. Thanks for the patience. Hey, so just wanted to give a quick plug for Flashbots. We had the opportunity of chatting with their team late last week, and they are very interested in ShapeShift supporting Flashbots integration. I let them know that you guys are all laser focused on this first milestone of the open source web app. So we probably won't have time to really look into it for at least a few weeks, but promising that I would at least give you guys a quick overview, because this is an integration that's available to us. Basically, what Flashbots offers is the ability for us to broadcast Ethereum transactions through instead of going through the public mempool, through a private network of miners, which the benefit of that is that it can protect users from sandwich attacks and from being front run on trades. Also, another benefit is that anytime that a transaction would revert, if it were to go on chain, that can happen off chain for free. So like a really common use case that they mentioned was when people are trying to mint these NFTs, when a popular NFT goes live, oftentimes you can end up like burning hundreds of dollars of Ethereum if you're too slow and all of the NFTs are minted beforehand. This would give the ability for those to fail off chain and not cost the user any gas. Anyways, it's a free service. It wouldn't cost us or users anything. And It's supposedly a pretty easy integration. So we've got a partner channel with them set up now in the Discord. I added you, Josh, Adam, and DeFi Cafe. And yeah, that's all for now. Just wanted to make sure it was on the radar for the product and engineering work streams to consider prioritizing once we have a bit more bandwidth.
All right, cool. Thanks, Willie. Hope you have safe travels and happy journeys to Lisbon.
Thanks, Josh.
Bye,
And yeah, if anyone is going to be up there, feel free to DM me. Would love to hang out in RL.
Anyone else have any questions or updates before we break for today? And anyone, that includes anyone from the audience, you just raise your hand. I'll bring you up. All right. Well, thanks for joining, everybody. And hope you all have a great day and a really good, productive week. See you around.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
All